Yay, we're so excited to be here live. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of believing in yourself. Before we're diving into the topic, let's quickly introduce ourselves. If we haven't met, I am Theresa, and I guide women in discovering what they're meant to do and empower them to find a fulfilling career. I'm super lucky to be tuning in here live from Hawaii, where I live, and I'm even more so excited to be here with Anna.
Yes. Hi, everyone. If we haven't met, I'm Anna Gaynor. I help you advocate for your career well-being. I am here to help you in every step of the way in your career journey. I am originally from Brazil, but I'm tuning in from North Carolina.
Oh, Anna, super excited to be here with you. So, everyone here in the chat, there's already highs coming
Hi,
in. This is so amazing. So please say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, because we really can't wait to get to know all of you. So really excited for you to join and drop a hi in the chat.
Yes, that's the only way actually for us to know that you are here with us is when you comment. Otherwise, there's no way for us to know that you're tuning in live with us here right now. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Say hi to us.
So true, Anna. And it's great. Hi, Jean. Hi, Johan. Oh, thanks for the support, Johan. Excited that you're here. Very cool. So, today, I'm so excited that you're all here live today, because today we're going to be diving deep into the power of self-belief and how it really can transform your career trajectory. We chose that topic today because we know that a lot of you aren't quite happy where you are in your career. You feel like there's more you're meant to do, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, you're not in the work environment you want for yourself. But when we're honest, a lot of us are being held back because of self-doubt. And that little whisper in our head of, I'm not good enough. But guess what? You are good enough. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. And I want you to all, if you can relate to that whisper in your head that's telling you, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you can't go for the promotion, you can't make a career change, you can't do this, I can't do that. If you ever have that whisper in your head and you can relate to this, I want you to drop whisper in the chat to let us know that you are in that situation or have been. So, oh my God, there's so many people in here. Hi, Nicole. Hi, G. Hi, Julie. Hi, Dallas. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Kushbu. Oh, this is amazing. This is great. We've got Hi, Anna. This is amazing. We got Texas here. Johan, what an awesome topic. Oh my God, this is all just so cool. Very awesome. We have someone from Toronto. Amazing. Thank you guys for being here. We're really excited. So, Anna, so if anyone has ever experienced this whisper in your head of saying, like, you're not good enough, put in a whisper in the chat. Yep, exactly. It's the imposter syndrome. Yep. It does really cripple up every time. Oh, we have Christy tuning in here. So awesome to see all of you. Thanks for being here. So now that we introduced the topic that we're going to cover today, I'm going to let Anna kick it off and really get us into the self-belief journey.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for all of you for being here with us. We really appreciate your support. And I want to start with these sayings. I bet you have heard these sayings before. You can be your biggest cheerleader or your biggest critic.
Yeah.
True or false, right? Like we probably heard that one before, right? Or if you believe, you can achieve. They all sound cheesy. These two sentences, they sound cheesy, but they are truth. And now I'll tell you why, because I can talk about an experience that I had. So a couple years ago, I was in a toxic work environment that took me years to realize the type of environment that I was in that was unhealthy and was unhealthy for me. And I was mentally and physically affected by that kind of environment. And that also really destroyed my self-confidence. I I just couldn't believe that I could find a better workplace for me. So it was really hard for me to that confidence again to even like think that I could. And honestly, I didn't even believe it. It's one of those things, oh yeah, you can, but you truly like genuinely you don't believe it, right? So what happened was I had the courage to leave that work environment, but because I didn't do the self work, I end up in another environment that a month or two I realized was toxic too. Because I feel like sometimes if you don't do that inner work, that self work to believe that you can and that you will find a better place for you, you may end up in the same like type of job. Or let's say you're going for an interview, right? The last interview wasn't good, so as soon as, let's say if you're going in person, as soon as you walk into the office, like you get like these vibes, this you notice different things that it comes back in your brain that happened in the past. And then you already start thinking, oh, this is going to be bad, this is not going to be good. And right there, like the interview doesn't go well because you just can't believe that you can do it, right? So long story short, it took me a lot of time and reflection and self-awareness and self-discovery to really go into like those limiting beliefs that I had in terms of like a work environment. Like I didn't think it was possible to find a better manager, better colleagues, a better environment, a better work arrangement for myself. So it took me a long time, honestly, and a lot of work, like inner work, to really go into those limiting beliefs and just start like reframing my thoughts and learning more about myself. And little by little, I got into a point that's like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. And yeah, and I did the work and I was able to find a better job, find a better work situation for myself. But I also feel like this is like a muscle, right? So you're not gonna feel like this empowerment, this confidence all the time. So I feel like every day, like sometimes you feel like, oh, you're getting the butterflies in your stomach, you're a little nervous and stuff. And one example for me is what we're doing right now. Like we started doing these live events about a year ago, and Teresa and I, like the first one, we were just like, how are we gonna do this? So it took us, some self-empowerment, right? Some self-belief to really get there and say, we can do this. Like we have what it takes to show up live, on all these platforms and talk to people, talk about our experiences and help people in their careers. So here we are today. And it just gets easier. The more you do it, the more you believe in yourself. And even before, like we went live, what I always tell myself is, you got this. I look in the mirror and I point to myself and I say, you got this. This is like self empowerment because I want to feel like pumped. I want
Yeah.
to feel like I really can do this, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's that work that you have to do every single day because our minds lie to us all the time. I'm telling you. Like, so you always have to be telling yourself, okay, didn't work out last time, but this time is going to be better. I am going to do this. This is going to work, and you start building that self belief, right? So, like I said, it's kind of like a muscle. So, what I want to ask you all now is like, do you have something to share with us about your own like self belief or your limiting beliefs? I mean, let us know if you have something to share that you want to share in the chat. Is there anything right now that is holding you back, that you think, because of this, maybe you can get a different job or you can change careers or you can do well in a job interview, right? Because one thing that I want to add here regarding job interviews is like you walk into a room, those people don't know you, right? So you are there, and if you don't believe in yourself, how can you make them
Yeah.
believe in you? They don't know you yet. It's different than a family member who has known you your whole life. Just say yes, you can do it. It's they know you. They know you can, right? But somebody you don't know yet, how are you going to convince them to believe in yourself, that you have the skills, that you have the experience, that you're good for the job? So Yeah, those are some of the things that I want to talk about, but I see that we have a very active chat here, and that's amazing. I love it.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for contributing here in the chat. This is awesome. Thanks, Johan. We remember you being part of those lives from the beginning on. Thanks for still being here and supporting us. And Neha is saying positive self-talk, super important. And yeah, I think most of people, there's
Yeah.
all times in our lives where we feel stuck. And I really appreciate you, Anna, sharing your journey. And I relate to so much what you said, but what stood out the most to me is how you're going to make someone else believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. That's really the key. And I want you all to ask yourself that right now, if you're thinking about, if that's in a career or even outside of a career, but if you're applying for a position and you already are in your mind of like, I'm not good enough for that, I can't do it, how are you going to convince the hiring manager that you are? If you're going in an interview questioning yourself, how are you going to be able to convince the others that you can do it? And I want to give you some strategies because I know that for myself, I have struggled with self-confidence a lot in my life. And it is really, really hard to overcome that. And I don't think like, for me, it's a lifelong journey. I don't think I can just wake up one day and feel suddenly all confident, but there are definitely some strategies that help that we can all use to approach situations with more confidence. And I love that Anna already talked about positive self-talk, which is really important. So sometimes the way we talk to ourselves, we would never talk to anyone else. We can be really harsh with ourselves. The things I say to myself, I would not say to anyone, not even my enemies. I don't really have any, but maybe I do. Thanks, Rebecca, for putting this in here. I think looking for evidence that you can do the job is a great way to counteract self-doubt. Yes, so true. Yes. So I want to share a couple of strategies with you that have helped me. And one that I've learned more recently, because sometimes I can deal with social anxiety. And sometimes when I approach strangers, I feel like I have that belief in me that they're not going to like me. And this belief really changed a lot for me is if you approach a situation thinking everyone is going to like you. It's a really simple mind shift. And I want you to all try that out at some point. You can think about a situation that you're nervous to walk into. Maybe it is like a gathering with a lot of people you don't know. Maybe it is a networking event and you're like just so scared to enter the room where there's lots of strangers and you're supposed to talk to people and hand out business cards. Before going in, think it like everyone in there likes me. They already like me. They don't know me yet, but they like me. You're gonna go in with such a different attitude. When you're reaching out to someone you have never connected with on LinkedIn, maybe because you want to start a networking conversation or want to ask for an informational interview, put in your mind, they like me. They like me. And go in with that attitude. You will get so much more back. Same for an interview. When you go into an interview, tell yourself, they like me. You just assume they're going to like you and they already like you. And it can make a huge difference in how you approach the situation and how you show up. So to really reinforce this exercise, I want you to think of a situation where you can apply this. Think about a time where you're going to be going into the room and think, everyone is going to like me. And while you are thinking about situations and dropping in them chat, I want to really get some of that conversation that's flowing in here. It is amazing. So Rebecca right here dropped in, I think looking for evidence that you can do the job. We had this one. Yep. Think of times of mastery. Absolutely great one is when have you been successful? When have you done that successful thing that you want to remember? Get in that mindset. Sherry said, I've embarked on a solopreneur path and I have to keep moving forward, even though it feels very uncomfortable and my mind keeps saying I'll fail. I'm practicing certain techniques to navigate the negative self-talk. Oh my God, I can so relate to that, Sherry. Thanks you for sharing. Anna's nodding too.
Yeah. We can all relate to that because it's a journey that you're doing on your own, right? Like it's not like you are a part of a corporation and you have a manager and you have these colleagues and people tell you what to do all the time. It's not like that. So Basically, for me, solopreneurship is living and learning every single day and making mistakes, learning from the mistakes. That's how it goes. But yeah, congratulations on that journey.
um, we have Chi dropping in here. I keep the mindset of being our own biggest cheerleader always. Yes, let's be our own biggest cheerleader. Because if we don't cheer for ourselves, who will? Andrew, Theresa, and Anna like me. See, I said that. We do, Andrew. We like everyone who's tuning in. Yes, we really, really do. And we appreciate you. Love this attitude. And what helps me is knowing that if they self-select out of our orbit, we can soar faster. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. It is really hard not to like you too. You're so sweet, Johan. Yes. And we already, who dropped it in the chat? The next point I want to get to. Rebecca said, think of times of mastery. That's the next point I want to talk about. I love a habit of collecting your accomplishments. And what I tell all my clients to do and often give as word of advice is set a calendar meeting on your week, a reoccurring meeting for once a week. So I often do it Fridays for 15 minutes. And then in these 50 minutes, when the meeting shows up, you don't do anything for 15 minutes, but write down what you have accomplished this week. Small things, big things, work things, non-work things. Keep track of your accomplishments because we forget about them so fast. Like, honestly, I'm just thinking like 2 weeks ago, what did I do? I can't even tell you. I don't know. Life is so busy. So when we don't write it down, we forget about all the things we're accomplishing. And that, if you take 15 minutes a week, you've got to schedule it on your calendar. Otherwise, you're not going to ever do it. But if that calendar reminder pops up, you take out your Word document or whatever file you want to keep track in, or you send yourself an email and you just think for 15 minutes. All the little things you've done this week, all your accomplishments. Have you received any praise, any positive feedback from clients, customers, coworkers? Have you learned something new? Whatever it is, keep track of it. And it will boost your self-esteem so much. It's very, very powerful to keep track of all the things you actually accomplish. Because when we don't do that, like what I do is at the end of the day, I often think about all the things I didn't do today. I still didn't do the laundry. I still didn't do this. I still didn't do that. I should be doing this. I should be doing this. And I haven't done that. But let's switch that mindset and write down the things we did and we did accomplish. It is such a powerful way to reframe the way we think. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the compliment here. You two are adorable. I'm a morning person and night lives can be tough at times, but this is pure energy. Thank you. We want to celebrate all of you tuning in here because we know you have accomplishments. You have things in your life that you're proud of. So let us help celebrate you and drop one thing in the chat that we can celebrate you for. It can be as small as I reached out to a stranger with a networking message. I made a new connection. I helped a coworker who didn't know how to do a process. I made a sale. Whatever you have achieved, drop one thing in the chat that we can celebrate you for. And while you are thinking about your accomplishments and dropping one of them in the chat, I'm going to share the third strategy with you that I want to share. And it is Amy Cuddy's power posing. Some of you might have heard of it, and it's like such an amazing TED Talk. We're going to put the link in the chat for sure, or in the caption so you can look it up for yourself. But I just want to show you for just a couple of seconds here of how powerful power posing can be. And then afterwards, we're going to all power pose together. So you better get ready for some power posing. Let me share my screen. And then if you can do me a favor and actually let me know if you can also hear that, share system audio, it should work. That would be awesome. Hey, let's go ahead and power pose together while we're watching this.
This is what they are. So in the animal kingdom, they are about expanding. So you make yourself big, you stretch out, you take up space, you're basically opening up. It's about opening up. And this is true across the animal kingdom. It's not just limited to primates, and humans do the same thing. So they do this both when they have power sort of chronically, and also when they're feeling powerful in the moment. And this one is especially interesting because it really shows us how universal and old these expressions of power are. This expression, which is known as pride, Jessica Tracy has studied, she shows that people who are born with sight and people who are congenitally blind do this when they win at a physical competition. So when they cross the finish line and they've won, it doesn't matter if they've never seen anyone do it, they do this. So the arms up in the V, the chin is slightly lifted. What do we do when we feel powerless? We do exactly the opposite. We close up, we wrap ourselves up, we make ourselves small. We don't want to bump into the person next to us. So again, both animals and humans do the same thing. And this is what happens when you put together high and low power. So what we tend to do when it comes to power is that we complement the other's nonverbals. So if someone's being really powerful with us.
All right, so this gave you a little bit of an example of power posing. So thinking about your next interview, if you're waiting for the interview and you're doing this, you're going to go into the interview very differently than if you do this or you're doing this.
Yes.
So if you're interviewing from home, this is easy. But if you're going into an in-person interview, go in there early enough. You always want to get there 15 minutes early anyway. And then go in the bathroom and power pose for a minute. Anna, show us your power pose. Be like this.
I always put my hands in my hips. Like I just, that's a thing. That's a mother thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And all of you at home, come on, power pose with us. And while you're power posing, we're going to go through some here. Oh my God, all these accomplishments. Look at that. You guys are just killing it here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we have Sherry. I registered for a New York related course, which will lever my skills. Woo-hoo! You go. That's awesome. Mary says, will this be available to watch later on? Yes, our lives are recorded. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Woo, Rebecca, you scheduled some coffee chats this week. Woo! Oh my God, Rebecca, you're awesome. I refreshed my freebie. Unlock more leads on LinkedIn, boost your personal profile, and track your ideal clients. Rebecca is super awesome. So
yeah, it's a very good freebie, by the way. Download it.
Yes. Oh, I love this one here, G. I always tell people to keep that brag book handy, so to speak, and remind ourselves in down moments of the great things we have done. Reframing helps. Yes. Woo. Okay. Johan says, my kids are looking at me strange when I attempt to my power pose. Oh my God, this is so funny. Just have your kids power pose with you. Julie, network outreaches. Yes, huge accomplishment. Oh my God, I'm so proud of all of you. You are amazing. All right. We've went through the power posing, and I'm going to turn it back over to Anna now.
Sure. I just want to compliment the 3 points that Theresa made. And they are very actionable, steps that you can take. What I want to say is also like the power of visualizations, right? So before we go live every single time, what I like to do before, besides my you got this pose and, the power pose and all these things, I always visualize how this event is going to go, or if I'm working with a new client and, we still need to establish that relationship, I always visualize like the end goal, like the call going well, everything, going great. And if you're going for a job interview, for example, visualize the end, like you were able to answer the questions, you were able to talk about yourself, you were able to ask the questions that you wanted to ask, and you just leave the interview. You don't know what's going to happen, right? But try to be positive and visualize that it was positive. You learn, more about the company learned more about you, and you were able to make your point, because sometimes communication can be a tricky thing, right? You prepare, But they might ask you a question that completely throws you off and you don't know how to reply and you feel like the interview is over, but it's not, So always visualize the outcome, always think about a positive outcome, because that can help. And that can become true. That can help for you. That can happen for you. So the power of visualization it's really helpful when you're going to, you prepared, but there's that self-doubt, the inner voice, telling you, oh, maybe things are not going to go the way you planned. Just visualize, think about the end goal. I always, before these live events, I always think about us ending this, and everything going well, and all of you like participating. So I always have this in my mind, and it's usually how it goes. So it's always a great thing. The other thing that I want to say is, whenever possible, surround yourself with positive, or people who actually make you feel good about yourself. Because sometimes you might be surrounded by people that, they might bring a lot of negativity into your life and you don't realize it, meaning they're in a different vibe. Let's say you want to change careers and all they say to you is like, oh, it's too hard. That's not possible. You're not going to get that. You're not going to do this or you're not going to do that. I am saying from experience because I had people like that before, in my life. And I didn't even know, like, you just got to brush it off. But surrounding yourself with positive people and having like that, it could be like a networking group, or it could be, I don't know, one friend that you have. Just try as much as possible to hang out with people who has that positive belief. They believe in you, because whenever you talk about something, they'll say, well, yeah, you can do it. That's great. I think that's going to be a great thing for you. It's better than listening to, oh, that's hard, that's not possible. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's important to, whenever possible, because I know sometimes can be hard, but whenever possible, have the positive, people around you. And before you pursue any goal, the first step is to work on your mindset, because you can do like, you can read a million books, you can, do all sorts of things. But if you don't work on the mindset, on that belief that you're working on things, you're taking the steps, you are going to get somewhere good, it's going to be really hard to actually achieve that goal, because the mind can control, everything else that happens, right? Like based on your actions and all these different things. So treat yourself as you would treat your best friend. I think, again, another cheesy sentence, but it's a very true sentence. So you wouldn't talk negatively about a friend, or, you wouldn't be negative around them all the time. So do the same, whenever you have those things, the inner voice saying you can't do it, it's too hard. Just say, if you were encouraging a friend, you wouldn't say those things to them, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, Anna. I love all the things that you shared. And it's so true, especially when you said, think about the people you surround yourself with. That's a huge one. I just recently had someone tell me that the 5 people closest to you have like a huge influence on you. That's kind of the person you're becoming, because they influence you so much. So when you take a moment about thinking the 5 people that are closest to you in your life, are they a positive, empowering influence to you? Or are they a draining, demotivating, putting you down influence on you? And if they are, maybe there are some shifts you can make on bringing more of these uplifting, the positive experiences into your life in some way or another, because it's very, very powerful. If you have questions, by the way, drop them in the chat at any time. We are here. It's a conversation. We invite all of you into the conversation. Drop your questions in the chat. Drop your thoughts in the chat. Anything you want to add. We're super happy whenever we see comments and participation or questions. We are here to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
Before we're leaving for today, we want to give you some resources of how you can keep growing and working on yourself. So I'm going to put the first one in here. And this is a free quiz I have on my website. And it's amazing. It will tell you if you're ready for a career change or if you should change careers. So you go through a couple of questions. Again, I said it's completely free. And you will get an answer to, should I change careers? And if so, it will give you actionable steps as well as my transferable skills guide that will help you actually turn this into a reality for you to make a career change. And Anna has some amazing resources as well.
Yeah, so right now I'm working on my quiz. But if you go to my website and you sign up for my newsletter, all my male subscribers, they receive more tips than the ones I share on LinkedIn. I also have, of course, my newsletter on LinkedIn. So if you haven't signed up yet, just go on my LinkedIn page, it's right there, and sign up for my newsletter. But my male subscribers always receive more tips than the newsletter that I share on LinkedIn. So go to my website.
Anna's newsletter. Seriously, her newsletter is amazing. So it's definitely one I look forward in my inbox, and it's, yeah, you're going to benefit so much from it. So definitely sign up for her newsletter. Also, make sure that you follow both of us on LinkedIn. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can find us there too. And now new on Threads. So I'm trying that out. Are you on the Threads yet, Anna?
Oh, yeah. Not threading too much, but I'm there.
There too. I don't think anyone is trending there just yet, but it's a new experiment. But yes, follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and we're still going to be here for a minute for any questions that come up in the chat. Any final thoughts do you have to share? You have to for us to share, Anna?
Well, when it comes to, the power of believing in yourself, like I said, it's the mindset, right? Like I know we all have those moments, sometimes a lot of things are happening in our lives, we're stressed out, or I don't know, things are happening with our, families, within our families, at work, and all these different things. And it can be really hard to think about positive things, or even like believe that you can change. It seems like everything is happening at the same time. But again, like, your mind is very powerful, and the way that we think about things and the way we act is it's all connected, right? So again, like, going back to the whole like interview, career, all these different things, if people don't know you yet and you don't really believe in yourself, like, how are you gonna make, especially the people who don't know you, believe in you and see something in you, and so I think it always starts from within. But I also think it's like you said, it's a lifelong process, because we're always going to have those inner voices, right? We live in a world that is constantly changing. We just got a new social media platform. And our attention spans are so like seconds and all these different things. So I feel like, there's all these distractions always trying to get us to just, I don't know, not believe in ourselves. I mean, open Instagram, it's like everybody's life is better than mine. So it always makes you feel like, something is wrong with me, or I can't do this. Look at this person, I can never achieve that. And it's like there's all these different thoughts, all every day, all the time, we're processing our thoughts. But I think it's always that constant process of reframing your thoughts. Okay, I feel this way now. Okay, how can I feel better in this moment? Do I need to take deep breaths, or do I need to, I don't know, think of something positive, or do I need to tell myself an affirmation, or do I need to, I don't know, meditate for a second? Whatever that looks like for you, just to kind of recenter yourself, right? And get to that, okay, I felt this way, but I don't need to feel this way anymore. It was just for a moment, and now I need to move on. I need to, and again, it's not toxic positivity by any means. It's just like a way to kind of make you even like process your feelings and your thoughts, and that, and then little by little build your like belief system, right? And I feel like a lot of times our belief system is also changing depending on what's going on in the world. So I feel like it's a constant process. The whole like believing in yourself is really powerful, but it's also a constant process that you always need to be thinking about, how can I make things better, for me, and for the people around me? Because yeah, if you are, negative, or you're always like, complaining and all these different things, you are going to affect the people around you too, right? So it's all like, I always see that there's all interconnected with like belief, and I don't know. So yeah.
No, I love the way you rounded that up, Anna, of really believing in yourself. And one thing that came to mind for me as you were talking was it can help to have others see something in you that you don't see yourself, especially when it comes to a career, because we're often so stuck in the I just syndrome and we don't see our accomplishment. I was like, oh, I just helped this customer. I just processed this payment. I just did this. I just did that because it's part of my job. Sometimes it really helps to have someone outside of like wake you up and be like, no, you didn't just do this. Like, this is incredible what you did. And you're amazing. And you have so much value to offer and so much experience to offer. So this, when you don't have those people in your life, or even if you do, it can be really powerful to work with a coach or a career coach who draws these things out of you, and they believe in you so much that you start believing in yourself. And it's a really, really, incredible experience.
Yeah, sometimes you need the cheerleader, right? If you don't have any new at the moment because of the things that you're going through, you need somebody else to be that cheerleader for you, and they can help you see the things that you cannot see in yourself at the moment. So
Yeah.
that's a good one for sure.
Yes. And to round this up, I'm going to bring Johan's comment in here. Theresa, when are you inviting us to Hawaii for a wellness retreat? This is going to help all of us feel super energized and positive. Well, first of all, you're always welcome to come into Hawaii and visit me. I'd be super excited. And no, it is like something on my bucket list of having a retreat in Hawaii, something with career coaching, something with discovering yourself. And I'm going to fly out okay, if I'm making a lot of money by then, I'll fly all of you out. But now I will make this affordable, and hopefully everyone can come and join my retreat, and we all celebrate to finally meet in person and all the amazing people we're meeting here on LinkedIn. So thanks so much, everyone, for being here today. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be talking to all of you, and we really appreciate you joining in so actively in the conversation. And please connect with us, follow us on LinkedIn, send us a connection request. We're so honored to be here and be sharing this information with you.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next Real Live, whenever that's going to be. So follow us, because that's the best way to know when we're going to be live again. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.